Hi, I'm Ashley Brinson. We're back in the pop-up studio here at the Warren Center at Sydney University. This will be the last of the mini moment presentations of the day, and I'll be your presenter. We're going to talk on the subject of good intentions but misdirected kindness. And if you could go to that slide now, I'll just start talking about that. Look, the title there is an intro for the idea about how do you design in a crisis in a foreign country, and how do you get that design over the line. And the bottom line here is when you're doing your solutions for the Humanitarian Innovation Hackathon, we don't want to see a submarine in the solution set, and we'll talk about what that submarine means here in just a moment. I love Elon Musk. He is the most innovative of a generation of innovator entrepreneurs that are really changing the world. So this photograph's a good 20 years, 30 years old. You got Peter Thiel there on the left and Elon Musk on the right. Elon founded PayPal. Tesla is not just the most brilliant zero carbon emission automobile rolling computer on wheels ever made, but the Gigafactory where the Teslas are made is a robot paradise. The automobiles are running down the middle of that photograph, and you've got the 6-axis robots on either side doing the assembly. It is a genius of modern manufacturing. Hashtag dad joke coming. Some of Elon's work is sort of boring. I'm not a fan of the Boring Company and the underground shuttle, so we'll leave that one. But a lot of his work is exciting, and the FH there on the top of that rocket is for Falcon Heavy, and the SpaceX endeavor it's absolutely stunning. The takeoff of private commercial space travel has been stupendous in the last few years, and certainly Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson are the innovator entrepreneurs at the lead, but it's SpaceX that has really captured everyone's imagination. And it's not just the rocket taking off, but it's also the brilliant pictures of those rockets that are landing and being recycled for a second go-round. Until 2015, it was believed to be impossible ever to re-land and reuse one of the lower stages of a rocket, and we have watched with just amazement as the technology has been delivered. Last week, Elon was in the news with a Neuralink brain implant. He's going to stream audio and video into your brain one day. It sounds like a Black Mirror episode from Netflix, but that's Elon's dream. And we transitioned from all the great things that Elon has done to the challenge. So this is a real-world humanitarian disaster challenge, and the time is late June 2018, early July 2018, and the coach of the soccer team, the Wild Boars soccer team, he's about 25 years old, and he's taken 10 boys that play soccer, and they've gone on a hike and gone into some caves in Chiang Rai, Thailand. And you know these images because for several days it was believed that these boys might have drowned in the underground cave. And it was coming into the rainy season. The caves were filling up underground, and rescuing those boys was a real challenge. Now, I'll tell this story from the Australian DFAT website on the bottom of this page, and I acknowledge that the photographs are Australian Federal Police photos from that website, and you can read about it there. You can see there on the right-hand side the AFP and Australian Defence Force divers. There were British divers, Australian divers, and a real international team that went into the cave each day and swam to take food and to take the aluminized blankets to the soccer team. We were talking online today about should a humanitarian innovator should they invent something new every time? And the answer is no. If there's an off-the-shelf technology, as engineers, as innovators, as technologists, our first choice is to use proven technology, bring it off the shelf, and try to solve the problem with technology that we already know that's been safely proven and demonstrated in the past. So step one was hook up lots and lots of pumps and pump some of the water out of this cave system. But after several days of pumping water, it was clear that it was impossible to remove water from the cave system where the boys were as fast as the rainwater was filling up that cave system. And it was quite a dangerous situation, and it was feared that those soccer boys, the Wild Boars team, would lose their life. There's an organization in the UK called the Design Council. And on their website, the Design Council describes themselves as being an independent charity, and they look out with a vision over the entire world, and their mission is to enable happier, healthier, and safer lives for all. Now, I think that's sort of the ethos of this weekend and the Humanitarian Innovation Hackathon. So that's sort of charitable, global view of life safety. I think that's a good place to go. So we're going to go to the 7 tenets of human-centered design put forward by the Design Council. And here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can come back and look at this video after the hackathon or after this presentation. But I'm going to pick a few of those, and we're going to see what happened next with the story of the Wild Boar soccer team. Elon Musk offered to get involved. He was approached by some members of the public and basically got some of the best engineers in the world from SpaceX and from Tesla to invent a prototype, a solution for the problem in Thailand. And as our 7 design tenets for human-centered design showed us, tenet number 2 was don't be restricted by your own knowledge. And we can see in the tweets that Elon sent out a team to Thailand, and they sought out information from the team that was on the ground and started this design of a transfer tube from a Falcon rocket as the hull of this submarine. It was proposed that the submarine go underwater and that the boys be loaded into the submarine with some oxygen, and then divers were going to bring that submarine out of the underground cave system. But it's not a problem. Elon went and got some knowledge beyond his own knowledge. The third tenet there of design was spend time with real people in the real environments. And there's some photographs here of the SpaceX and Boring Company engineers are headed to Thailand tomorrow, he tells us. Many complexities there that are hard to appreciate without being there in person. And we've got some photographs on the right. Just returning from Cave 3, the mini-sub is ready if it's needed. So spend time with real people in real environments, tick mark. Prototype and test your idea. This is a video, I presume this was taken in California. It was tweeted, and we've got divers, a lead diver and a trailing diver, and we've got a tube there with a person in it, presumably with an oxygen tank, and they've welded up a little box that is the dimensions of the narrowest part of the tunnel system. And we've got a video being taken, so they're prototyping and testing that idea. That was the last of the 7 tenets. The problem with it all is the first tenet, which might not have been followed to the full degree. And that tenet from Design UK is get past your own great idea. And I wonder if even we could say it's time sometimes to get past your own greatness. That launch that happened a couple of years ago with the first of the big demonstration Falcon Heavy rockets, that's Elon's own red Tesla being loaded into the nose cone of the rocket. And you'll remember the pictures of the mannequin in the Tesla with David Bowie's Starman playing, and we can see Australia there in the background as the Tesla, the red Tesla, has been launched off the end of the rocket and is headed towards Mars. That's quite a great, magnificent, wonderful feat to have accomplished. But perhaps that kind of thinking interfered with the idea of going forward in the caves in Chiang Rai. So why was that design of the submarine rejected by the team? We can say probably the design was workable. There's a good prototype there showing it. It would not have been the only solution available. It would have been one workable solution. It could be criticized that that solution was a technology push, that the innovator had dreamt up the idea and was sort of pushing it at the team on the ground there. But there's evidence in those tweets, and afterwards there was even an image of a trail of emails that said that the team on the ground was going to use this as plan B, as the backup plan, if the first plan didn't work. But in the end, it turned into a really ugly and acrimonious Twitter fight. In fact, there were some slurs thrown back and forth, and it ended up in a defamation lawsuit in UK court. And Elon won that. But I think the key to it all was that there was required to be in the solution a degree of local community control, of acceptance of the community's viewpoints, and sort of an empowerment that the community was able to take care of its own. And we can see that in those photographs from DFAT. In this image here, you can see the military and the police leaders from the local community on the left-hand side of the photograph. And there's a gentleman there in a yellow shirt, and the yellow shirt has a meaning. And there's a photograph above him and a flower lei, and he's sitting in a seat and he's speaking to the mothers of those boys that were trapped in the cave. This had a lot of cultural context, and it had a lot of local community meaning in the crisis. And the community needed to feel that they had the power themselves to rescue their own children from that dangerous situation. And indeed, they were rescued. Dr. Richard Harris and Mr. Craig Challen were the two local Australians and Brits that were engaged in it. And when they made the statement at the end, they were quite humble men, real heroes and real giants of men that swam through those caves, actually anesthetized the boys and took them out in a very daring rescue mission. But their statement there says that we are humbled and that we really appreciate that the community placed their trust in us to deliver the solution. And so I put to you that it is this respect, this listening to the community and including the community in the solution that went forward that made this not the only solution that could have worked, but the one that was chosen among a couple of really dangerous ones, and that these two men that came forward and helped, they acknowledged there was a whole community around them, a community of doctors and nurses, a community of local Thai military and police, that the families were there, and that they trusted the team of professionals, and that these two gentlemen that went forward really acted like a team of professionals, not a one-man hero coming to save the day. So if we go back to those 7 tenets of human-centered design, that first one, get past your own great idea. My advice to humanitarian innovators and to those teams that are working through their solutions late on Saturday and early tomorrow on Sunday is know when to be humble. Think about and respect what local community feelings might be and how a solution to a crisis would build trust with the local community. And also be among yourselves as you're working through the hackathon and as you're working in situations later in your career, be part of a team of professionals and always keep not your own purposes in mind, but keep those higher purposes in mind, because they can act as sort of a a north pole, a north magnetic pole, so that you can pop the compass out, and no matter which way you turn, you know where true north is. If you always keep that higher purpose in mind, that'll help you choose great designs, choose great solutions to problems, and get you past that #1 hurdle on the 7 tenets of human-centered design. So think about this for the rest of the weekend. Know when to say no to the submarine design, and don't pull forward a submarine for your own project. That's my advice from you. And I think our man Jackson is in the wings. He's going to come out and tell us in 5 minutes. At 5, okay. That's the end of this session. We're going to sign off now until 5 o'clock. We'll be here at 5 o'clock. We'll announce a mini challenge at 5 p.m. and then we'll sign off for the day. And at that time, I'll give you a run for tomorrow, for what the schedule is tomorrow, and get back to getting those designs going. We'll see you later.